What's up? I'm ronald.james.baculo, filmmaker, comic book creator, mental health ambassador, here to share with you an inspiring new series interviewing different mobile filmmakers from around the globe. I believe we are in the midst of a mobile filmmaking revolution where the power to tell visual stories like films has been democratized and accessible to all kinds of people. To be a filmmaker, you are no longer beholden to having expensive camera gear or Hollywood connections. As Apple's iPhone slogans have been pushing for lately, you have your own Hollywood right in your pocket. So my first guest is originally from Colton, California, but he's been living in Osaka, Japan, where he shares his adventures and journeys into mobile filmmaking. He has gained lots of recognition through his YouTube channel with over 5.7 million views and more than 140,000 subscribers, where he shares his techniques on achieving cinematic video, all with a cell phone. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce mobile filmmaker and photographer Patrick Levar.
Ohio gozaimasu, as we would say here in Japan. Good morning.
So yeah, I got my Totoro shirt on, man. I'm all ready for Japan.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your mobile filmmaking journey. Like, how did you become a mobile filmmaker? How did you get to where you are now, man?
Yeah. I stumbled upon mobile filmmaking just out of a thirst to want to film something. Like I started literally Casey Neistat when I first moved to Japan. I couldn't understand Japanese TV, so I went to YouTube because then when I lived in the States, I never did anything on YouTube. I never watched YouTube. But when I got to Japan, I was like, YouTube was my TV. It was my Netflix. It was everything, right? And I stumbled upon Casey doing vlogs, and that was like right when he was pumping out daily vlogs. So I was hooked, and I was like, man, I want to try this. You know, this will be cool. I think I can make some videos. And I was like, but I don't have a camera. I don't have a camera. You know what? Let me just use my cell phone. Why not? It's a camera, it's video, and hit record and just started vlogging 1 minute with me on Instagram. I was only doing 1 minute. Instagram had just dropped video. 1 minute was like the new thing. So I was like, oh, this is perfect timing. So I started posting 1 minute with me vlogs on Instagram. And that kind of started my whole mobile filmmaking journey.
I remember like seeing you, like I discovered your channel back in 2016, I think. And that time, like I was already like, I've made like a bunch of short films with like DSLR cameras and even with the Black Magic Pocket Center camera. And I really wanted to challenge myself by doing like an almost big budget film, but with a smartphone. Like I did a full on like zombie apocalypse, but I wanted to shoot it with a cell phone. I really wanted to challenge myself with that kind of creative limitation. Like I wanted to do this thing, but I didn't know how. And so like going onto the internet, trying to find like more info out there about like smartphone filmmaking, and there was literally nothing, like barely anything out there. And you were the only one out there. You were pushing out these tutorials on like how to get cinematic footage with your smartphone, and like imagine how many other people too like got inspired. Like, what? I don't need to buy a big camera, a DSLR or anything. I can just use what I have. Like,
right. And that was the reason why I was like, I got to put something out, like, because I was doing it just with the phone, and people were like, and like you said, I was searched on the internet and everything was DSLR cameras at that time. DSLR, and I'm like, man, I can't find anything. I was like, you know what? Let me just make a quick how-to the tutorial, basic pans up and down, because everything that I was learning, I was taking from real filmmaking, from real cinematics techniques, and just trying to water them down to what I can do on a cell phone. And a lot of the basic pans, tilts, slides, we can simulate all of that, right? So I was like, you know what, let me make a video, let me share this out to people. And in the beginning, it was like, a couple of views here, a couple of views there. It was really nothing. And then the following summer, like, it was funny. And this is another motivation tip for all you new content creators who are starting. In the beginning, you have to really turn off that views and likes and stuff, because that will demoralize you. For the first 8 months, I was literally getting 10 to 14 views. It was just family and friends. And I didn't care. It was having fun. And then all of a sudden, my wife's like, why are you doing this? Nobody watches. I'm like, who cares? The following summer, it's like, I look, boom, up 10,000 views, up 20,000 views, 30,000 views, 40,000. It just kept going up and up. And I'm like, whoa, and that kind of just started the raft, of, I can tell you, don't follow that like trends, that video trend. It's gonna kill your motivation, guys, in the beginning. Just have fun and put out lots of content. Just do it, you know.
Personally, for you, why do you prefer the smartphone as a filmmaking tool?
Yeah, now that I do have like a separate camera, like I have a Canon EOS M, and when I first had the phone, my main mission was like, I got to get a camera. I got to get a camera. I got to get rid of this phone. I need to get a camera. Now that I have a camera, like I'm all about, dang it, I need to get another phone. I need to get another phone because why? The phone fits in your pocket. You can literally start filming anywhere you are or wherever you're at if they allow you to. But unlike my Canon, I have to make sure the batteries are charged. I can't put it in my pocket. Oh, I need a microphone with it because if it's windy outside, it's not a stable lens, so I need to get like there's just always something else that goes with it. Unlike this phone, whip out my phone, hit record, you're filming. It's just the accessibility is unmatched. I think now that technology is improving, the phones are getting so much better. Finally, now mobile companies are realizing that people are doing and filming and they're making the cameras better. They're making so many more cinematic modes. Yeah, stuff. Now they're starting to gear to us filmmakers who start, filming on our phones.
But yeah, I like like Hollywood director Steven Soderbergh. Like he's made like 2 feature-length films with like iPhone 8, but like he described it as when he would shoot with his iPhone. It's like you're filming at the speed of thought. As soon as you think of something creative, like you just whip out the phone and you got it.
No setup, and you go. That's it.
What's your filmmaking workflow? Your mobile filmmaking workflow? How do you go about it?
Yeah, right now, I've been experimenting with a lot, especially now that we have raw DNG available to some of us on Android devices. So that really already started to totally flip my workflow. But typically, I would just it really depends on what I'm doing now. And I want to go back to because something I get a lot of negativity towards and positive. It's kind of split. Is this whole horizontal or vertical? When I first released it, one of my big videos, and I was like, never film in vertical. Don't always film in horizontal because you'll get the black bars. But that was seriously before there was an IGTV, before there was Instagram Reels, before there was vertical video. It was always
before TikTok.
You're right. Yeah, it was before vertical was a thing. Now I have to always stop and ask myself, okay, what's this going to be for? Is this going to be for YouTube? Is this going to be for, vertical video? I have to decide now what I'm going to do. And that would really dictate how the style that I'm going to shoot. Now, filming in vertical requires a couple of little more thought process as far as framing and stuff like that versus horizontal. Like we got this set up here now. If I'm going to frame it up a vertical, I'm going to have to think about how I want to do that. So that's my big thing right now is deciding what platform or what media or what I'm going to post this video for. And a lot of times if I'm going to go full montage, like I'll shoot with like MC Pro or Filmic Pro and shoot for a flat profile. So I take everything in DaVinci Resolve. I love using DaVinci Resolve. It's free. And the color grading tools there are just, top notch. And yeah, I have, you could do a lot in there. Literally, it's like an After Effects. It's all of that inside of one. It's very complicated. And from there, color grade it out, ship it out to YouTube or whatever we're going to do with it. But right now, I've been heavily into the vertical video trend. I know I knocked on it in the beginning, but it's powerful because right now social media platforms are catering towards that to grow organically. Vertical video is really it's battling horizontal video, and I think right now it's slightly winning. So as a filmmaker, I'm trying to adapt. Yeah, I love my horizontal. I always will do this, but I'm also trying to adapt to vertical, which I've been denying since last year. Now I'm starting to embrace it, and like I'm a filmmaker. I like filming, and I don't really care if it's vertical or if it's horizontal. And yeah, that's kind of my whole workflow is right now. And I'm really looking forward to getting a second device so I can start shooting raw DNG with the motion cam app because that's gonna be insane. That's gonna be sick.
That's a great mentality too. I mean, like if you're like so like stuck with that kind of mindset, like this is how you do it. This is the only way to do it. I mean, I remember back, what, like a decade ago, there used to be that big debate, like digital versus film. No way I was shooting digital. Like you had all these old school directors like Martin Scorsese, Tarantino, and all that, like fighting
Right,
for film. Then now, like everyone's shooting in digital, and like it's become the normal. And like, who knows? We're gonna see that maybe with vertical. No, I doubt. I doubt it'll take over horizontal, but vertical looks like it's gonna be here to
right,
stay.
right, exactly. And it's just the way we consume media. People,
Right.
yes, us filmmakers, gurus, we like to turn our phone horizontal. But if you walk around and see people every day, and especially here in Japan, I see everybody's walking like this with their phone, and they're viewing their content like this in vertical. So hey, if you want to adapt to the masses, I mean, you got to jump on what they're doing, and everybody's not gonna. I know it's sad to say, but I don't want to turn my phone like this.
What challenges have you come across, like being a mobile filmmaker, or like going out there, shooting mobile content or mobile films?
For me personally, it's just mainly because I'm a one man band. I'm everything: the cameraman, the actor, the editor. I yearn to have times where I wish I have somebody else with me, to even possibly hold the camera. Why hold the phone while I do this gimbal move? Instead of sitting my phone down and then nobody's around. Okay, get the shot. Okay, go pick up my phone. So that's kind of one of my main limitations. I don't really have any limitations with the equipment right now, as far as, yeah, a lot of people who use Android versus iPhone, we don't get those higher frame rates. Like, especially if I use Filmic Pro or MC Pro, I can't have access to like the slow motion, and because of Samsung locks out their whatever, I don't know what it is, but we can't use it. Other than that, um, I don't really care if it's the iPhone or if it's an Android, as long as I can hit record, as long as it's HD. I don't need 4K, 2K. And a lot of people always ask me, how come you don't shoot 4K all the time? Because 4K is heavy on the editing. When I'm editing 4K, like I can't get clean, playback. And honestly, if the viewer doesn't have a 4K viewable device, they're not really seeing anything in 4K. So I think at this moment, it's still not. It's easy. It's just my workflow. It's not really something I want to do with the 4K. Yeah, I see many people get their message across and make some beautiful video in HD, and so that's why I feel it's there.
When they discovered you, 2016, 2015, I think that was a landmark time in mobile filmmaking, because that's when Sean Baker had his iPhone short film going around the film festival circuits. It was like a film festival darling. And then now
Right.
that iPhone that was used for that movie Tangerine in 2015, like it's in the museum, the Motion Picture Academy thing, like it's part of film history
Right.
now. So
Right. I think that's when we were knocking on the door, like, hey, let me in. I can do this. Look what I do. And now I think it's like I said, now with the big mobile giants starting to recognize that, hey, people are actually trying, to make some legitimate stuff using these cameras on these phones. Let's meet their demands a little bit and let's help them out. So I think hopefully now, like, we're going through the puberty stage where, like, we're starting, like, hey, mobile filmmakers, photography, it's a thing, like, help us out. And I think it's a good time to be involved in it. Like, everybody's got a device, in their back pocket, and take advantage of that. And this is, like I said, man, I only see the quality getting better. And I can't even imagine what's going to happen with these devices eventually. I feel it maybe be something more POV. We don't even have to hold the phone anymore. It's goggles, and I'm recording you guys live right now. We're recording. I think it's gonna be something like that. But already, like, the motion cam app, DNG raw video, I'm already like, come on, I was wishing this when I bought my Canon 3 years ago, because I used Magic Lantern on that, and like I'm like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be good.
where do you think the future is going? Like, is this thing going to be kind of like mainstream now? Like, where right now we're kind of in the fringe, we're like in the kind of indie kind of underground almost kind of thing. But
I think it should only get bigger, because there's lots of people who are inspiring to want to reach out, or they want to be heard. And before, like you said, you need to have a big camera or something. Now it's so easy for people to get their message out through video, through these devices. So I mean, they got to meet the demand. If there's more demand for it, they got to, I think the future's got to get better for this. So I see nothing but positivity coming, hopefully, from more mobile filmmaking and photography and stuff. Because, and then just affordability, a lot more. You know, as much as I would love it, I can't afford a Red Epic, but I can shoot some nice quality on my Note 8, just to get out there and get it going, start.
That was also the main reason too why in 2016 I chose to use my Samsung S7 Galaxy S7 at the time because it could shoot
Mm-hmm.
4K. Like like back then you couldn't get DSLR unless you really paid top money to shoot in 4K and
Or 4K, right?
little
Exactly.
home device.
So I'm still kind of behind as far as devices. Like, as much as I would love to grab the newest flagship that's always released, I kind of tend to stagger back a couple of years, 3 or 4 years behind, and I kind of follow it there because, one, affordability, and then two, it's just like you can't keep up with these companies like iPhone 13, and you can't keep up. And I don't think it's practical to be shopping, $1,000 every 7 months or 8 months to stay with the new device. And honestly, you got to look at it, how much improvement is there between, it's micro, right? I mean, if there's a huge gap in there, yeah, but I don't see, I like to stay behind. Like right now, I'm using Samsung Note 8. I'm still thinking about maybe even just the Galaxy 20 or something. Maybe I'm honestly even thinking about another Note 9 because like this phone has been fine for me. I haven't had any issues with it, and I think I want to do dabbling into the iPhones a little bit, but
Well, while we're on the topic of gear, like for you, what's your favorite piece of gear or tool or app in like making these kind of mobile films?
definitely my go-to apps, Filmic Pro, uh, Filmic Pro, but I don't have a lot of options as far as, like, again, high frame rates because Filmic Pro was basically ported from iPhone. But right now, for us Samsung users and Android user, MC Pro 24 FPS
Love
is
it.
like solid, man. That thing is amazing. That the settings and the amount of detail that I can do in that, it's fantastic. That's my main go to. Log profiles, different gamuts. That's pretty insane. Um, and then the Motion Cam app, which allows you to only certain devices to shoot raw DNG video, which is also pretty insane. And then as far as like actual gear, I love gimbals. I don't really any size gimbal, small size, big size. I love gimbals, and I like sliders. I don't get to use them too much, but as a matter of fact, the other day I was just experimenting here. I got my slider on with the Moza MX on top, because what I would love to have is a slider that has the actual head that pivots while it moves.
Mm,
So I kind of made my own version of it using the
nice.
gimbal on top of a slider and the tracking software
Right.
inside of the Moza. And it's like, I tried it yesterday and I was like, yes, it works.
Because
This is
it's light enough,
awesome.
right? It's light enough to, and then the slide,
Right.
yeah.
Yep, it works fantastically. So, I'm excited about that. So I'm just a gear whore. I love tinkering with all this stuff. Anything mobile filmmaking, I love it. I don't care.
Lastly, man, like, what advice can you give to like young or aspiring filmmakers out there who might want to like start making films with their phones or yeah, with these mobile gadgets?
If you got an idea and you're really passionate about it and motivated, do it. Grab your device. Don't worry about what you don't have now. Worry about what you have at the moment. If you got a phone, you got enough. Hit record, do what you want to do. And again, just in the beginning, just have love for it and don't focus on anything else but love. Like I said earlier, don't focus on, oh, how many people viewed it or if it's getting likes, because that stuff is going to kill your mojo. Trust me, I've been at it for 6 years. And my number one battle is that, like, oh, I put out a piece of content. I put on my heart and soul. I'm like, this is gonna be great. This is gonna probably be one of the best videos I've made all year. I post it, and I'm like, oh no, what? It's like it's only got like not even what I expected. But I'm like, yo, 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 yo. In the beginning, I didn't care. I post a video the next day and had 5 views. Guess what? I posted again. And I was like, I'm having fun. So have fun. Just grind it out, have fun, and things will come in time. You got to be patient and just really have fun. It's hard now though. I'm gonna tell you, it's hard for a content creator from when I started to now. You guys have so much more to deal with, as far as like the whole social media pressure and content creation. So I feel for you, and I always say this, especially like you're doing YouTube or you want to be a TikToker or something. When you post, don't analyze any of your stuff until you posted 500 videos, and then start
Oh,
worrying
wow.
about like, okay, honestly, then start worrying about like, am I getting views? Because honestly, these days now you got to post a lot, and like it's tough. But when I started, I didn't really have to post that much because there really hardly wasn't anybody doing anything about mobile photography or
Right.
filmmaking.
Exactly.
Now there's like thousands of YouTube channels out there doing it. So have fun and just keep filming.
Sweet, man. Before I let you go, Patrick, like any plugs, shout outs, any projects you're working on or anything?
Yeah, this year I'm really niching down. I'm really starting to focus on providing some off YouTube, off platform stuff. Again, I want to be working on a lot of more guides, MC Pro, Filmic Pro, just a lot of more stuff that's going to be detailed about for certain people if they want to do photography, things like that. Of course, working on the merch always, mobile filmmaker, peace out, all of that.
Links down
So
below. Links down below.
do do all that jibba jabba down below. But yeah, just really trying to niche down a little bit more this year and focus on some more guides and long form content that I can't really provide. I mean, I could provide on YouTube, but I just want to kind of start separating some stuff out. So
But thank you, Patrick Levar, for coming on and such a blessing, such a privilege to have you here. And hopefully more people who like see you, watch you, check out your channel and your socials can have that courage, that push to like grab their phones,
yeah,
do something creative, and like be that
keep filming.
filmmaker, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now's the time. You got the tools. It's very accessible. You got it.
Yeah. Crazy. Thank you again, Patrick, man.
Take care, guys. Peace.